Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops has a special place in my memories. I imported my PSP from Japan at launch, and I loved the device, but up to that point it hadn't fulfilled Sony's promise of console gaming on the go. I enjoyed both Metal Gear Acids, but I was disappointed when I first started playing Acid 1 and realised it wasn't a real Metal Gear game. I didn't follow gaming sites like I do now. I was excited just to know a Metal Gear game was coming to the PSP, but I didn't realise it was a turn-based game like Acid until I actually played it. Portable Ops on the other hand was a proper Metal Gear game, with full camera control, amazing graphics, a variety of guns, a story with twists and turns, and of course sneaking. It even had David Hayter voicing the stylish cutscenes.
I can't let you use Metal Gear. I'm doing this out of loyalty to myself. I'm not gonna live my life the way the boss.
I loved all the Metal Gear Solid games, and I was just amazed to be playing a full-on Metal Gear game on a tiny handheld. The story takes place after Metal Gear Solid 3. You play as Naked Snake, the hero of Metal Gear Solid 3, and the man that will one day become Big Boss. Naked Snake is captured by his old unit, the Fox unit, and he wakes up in a South American prison and learns that the new leader of Fox, Gene, has a new model of Metal Gear, of course he does, and a nuclear missile pointed at America. Snake works his way through a series of missions learning more about Gene's plan and recruiting his soldiers to ultimately stop Gene from realizing his plans. I really like the story of Portable Ops. It had similar twists and plot beats to the other Metal Gear games, but that's what I liked about it. It introduced us to stylish comic cutscenes, and it even built on the story intrigue that was set up in Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. I also really liked the boss fights. It had a couple of unique bosses that I really enjoyed fighting. Recruiting soldiers was an excellent idea, although it could be a pain at times to carry soldiers back to a truck at the start of the level. I really enjoyed putting enemies to sleep, carrying them back, and hoping that I was recruiting a strong soldier that I could use in future. You could even recruit random soldiers by scanning Wi-Fi points. I remember walking to the train station just scanning my road to try and find new soldiers. It was an excellent idea that was improved on for Peace Walker and perfected for Metal Gear Solid 5. You could also recruit some of the characters of previous Metal Gear games, like Ocelot and Eva. The graphics were amazing for the time, although looking at it now on the Vita screen it does look kind of blurry and lacking detail. The music was excellent, it suited the game amazingly, and the closing credits song is one of my favourite songs in the Metal Gear series. I imported my copy, so I had it in December 2006. I remember Christmas Day 2006 really well. I had moved into a new place, so I didn't have internet at the time. I went to my parents' house for Christmas, and it would have been a pretty boring day without my PSP. All my cousins were off with their spouses or on holidays, so it was me, my parents and my grandparents, and they just wanted to watch TV all day. Fortunately, I had my PSP and I used my parents' Wi-Fi to play Portable Ops online. Well, I played online until I realised that when you lose one of your men online, they're gone for good. Even Snake, if he dies online, you had to perform some solo missions to rescue him before you could use him again. The concept was very cool, albeit a bit scary. I didn't want to use my top soldiers online, but I would lose when I used my bad soldiers. I played Portable Ops so much in that one day and I loved it. What I thought was going to be a very boring Christmas day turned out to be an awesome long gaming session. I played this game so much, I completed it so many times to collect all the different soldiers and just because I enjoyed it so much. The biggest complaint about the game at the time was the controls. Because the PSP didn't have a second analog nub, you had to use the D-pad to move the camera around. This put your hand into a very awkward position, and I remember my hand aching to the point of numbness at the end of Christmas Day 2006. Fortunately on Vita that problem is solved. You can set the left analog stick to replace the D-pad so it's far more comfortable to hold. Playing the game now, it's still so fun. Peace Walker is a better game, but Portable Ops is so good and I feel like it gets overlooked. Partly because Peace Walker is better, but even at the time of release there seemed to be some snobbishness towards it, because it wasn't directed and written by Hideo Kojima. Regardless of that, I think the devs did an amazing job. It's still a good game to play today with a decent challenge, interesting bosses and so much to do. The story fits nicely into the Metal Gear mythology, and it was very cool to see some of the characters from Metal Gear Solid 1 make an appearance. This was one of my most played games on the PSP, and it's worth playing for any Metal Gear fan. That's why Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops is my retro recommendation. So guys, have you played Portable Ops? What did you think about it? Leave a comment below, and as always, thanks for watching.